Welcome in, sports fans, to the Locker Room Chat after a week hiatus due to the coronavirus. We're back, trying to be a little social distance from each other. We're probably not 6 feet apart, but we're getting there. We're keeping our hands sanitized and washed. And Sleepy was texting me last night saying, we got to get back to the fans. I said, you're dang right, Sleepy, and here we are tonight.
Right, I hope our fans are calling in tonight. I'm sure they've missed us. We missed being here last week. Just none of us could hardly make it in, and it was sort of strange with the coronavirus. It's just a crazy time.
It's just put a lot of stuff on hold. The TSSAA has made statements. They've came out in the past weeks and said that they're still going to try to have the basketball state finals for boys and girls. I don't really see that happening, and I feel bad for those teams, but I just think the more of this, it was the end of March, and now it's April 24th, and when it gets to April 24th, it's going to be, I just don't think there's going to be enough time to play basketball.
Well, I think it's great, though. I want to give the TSSAA props, Tennessee Secondary School Athletic Association, Bernard Childress, the executive director. He's left the door open.
And that's good.
It's cracked, and I'm positive about it. I think it's a good thing. Even, the governor's come out and says schools will be closed through the 24th. But they were already talking about playing this, finishing the girls and boys state tournament in May. Mm-hmm. There's still that opportunity, and, I'd just like to give the TSSAA props for that. And
I agree with you. I'm glad they didn't just say, we're not doing it. I'm glad they've left that door open. They're going to try to. I'm just not as optimistic as you are about it. But I am grateful that they didn't just say, we're not doing it.
Right.
They're going to try to push the spring fling back, play the basketball in May, have baseball. Baseball and softball is really going to look interesting because if they come back and start playing April 24th or 25th, you're in district tournaments starting in May. You're getting ready to, you're going to have to go straight into district tournaments probably. Just draw numbers and start playing.
Right. I think each district will probably determine how they want to handle it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they'll be able to get some more regular season games in. I would think probably pushing the spring fling back to June. So that gives you about a month there to play, and it'll be an abbreviated schedule. But I still believe, they'll be able to get some games in before they start the tournament. It'll be interesting. It'll be, if they do play and start the tournaments, it'll be high intensity because these teams probably hadn't played each other, and you're just thrown in the fire. And
well, they'll be well rested, but on the other hand, they don't have any practice. So unless you're going out on your own and doing some work, kind of behind the scenes and not let anybody know about it, you're going to be rusty. You're going to have to get out. You're not going to have time to knock that rust off. You're just going to get thrown to the fire, and maybe that could benefit some teams. It could hurt some teams. But everybody should be well rested. It'll probably benefit those that don't have as much pitching with smaller rosters. They'll have their arms ready to go, and we just hope that for those seniors, whether it's in basketball, baseball, softball, that they get a chance to play.
Right, that's the main thing. The kids, the TSSAA has the best interests of the kids at heart, I think, and giving them the opportunity to maybe finish their dream. You got high school state basketball, the girls, you got stopped. They got the first round in. It comes to a halt, and you got the boys, haven't even started yet. So I'm liking that. TSSAA want to give them maybe opportunity to finish that. And here in a little bit in the show, Clinton Dragonhead baseball coach Rob Stacy's supposed to call in, and we can talk to him more about how they're staying in shape and training and all that. But this virus is, it's a deadly virus, and it's just really has a lot of ramifications. It's not really at the surface. You mentioned training, but there's other things, just that we don't even think about that's causing people not to even get out or just It's just a crazy time, unprecedented time.
A lot of empty streets. But I've noticed in recreation, people starting to go a little stir crazy. They're out on the trails. They're walking. They've got their kids at the park, and so I guess they're trying to stay safe, but also they're trying to be outside, and they're tired of being cooped up in their house all day.
Right. It's strange. People need exercise and need to get out. And my wife was telling me today that there was a lot of kids playing at the J.C. Park.
Yeah.
You probably saw some there in Kingston. What are you supposed to do? I mean,
I know there were about 40 kids playing at the basketball courts in Rockwood a couple nights ago. And they're like, "Come on, people, you've got to go home." They had to close the courts the next day because it's something that's got to be taken serious, and it's just something we're not used to that we've got to adapt to. But not only has this impacted high school sports, it's impacted a lot of professional sports, and we can take a look here and see some of the leagues that have been canceled because of the coronavirus. We've delayed the MLB right now. The season's been postponed. When this first came out, the NBA, we're going to take a 30-day hiatus is what they called it. Well, now, that it's become more serious, and they've had NBA stars that have been, that have been infected with the virus. They're on a permanent, they're going to try to revamp later in the year. Minor League Baseball, Major League Baseball, the NHL, MLS, and my favorite, the XFL. All these leagues have been impacted. Their whole season, the inaugural season of the XFL, they were doing it, and they got about halfway through and had to quit. But if you've been following on the so-called Twitter machine or the Google, the XFL is putting players in the NFL. 4 or 5. P.J. Walker, I think, signed with the Panthers, and I saw one sign with the Saints, the Giants. So that makes me feel like that league is a success. No matter what happens from here on out, I think you go to the XFL to put your time in and try to get another shot at the league, and that's how it's worked out for some people.
Yeah, it looks like it's here to stay, and that's a good thing. What you mentioned earlier about, like the NCAA, they just canceled everything pretty much. I know they've granted the spring sports, the athletes,
The 5th year
eligibility. They've granted that, but the winter sports probably won't get it back. But the president of the NCAA, Mark Emmert, I'm not sure, he come out right on the heels of the NCAA basketball tournament being canceled, which I can see that. But he went ahead and he canceled the baseball, softball. That's not until June, the College World Series.
That's what they should have took that TSSAA approach. Take it a month at a time, take it 2 weeks at a time, and don't just squash the whole season when, it might still be here in June and July, but it could be gone in May. We just don't know right now.
Right, and just don't know, and I think that was a mistake. Mark Emmert, the president, I've heard he's under fire now. Mm-hmm. He's not really, he's been under fire for a while. You've got coaches, LSU coach Will Wade and the Arizona coach caught on wiretap.
Oh, yeah, that was on an HBO special that I think premiered late last week, kind of the whole tapes and the whole wiretaps, mm-hmm. And so you could see that resurface again.
And they're still coaching this year. Nothing happens to them. I don't know if that's an FBI thing. I guess it is, but Mark Emmert could step in. They got him caught on the telephone.
Maybe they should have just had a barbecue.
Yeah, a barbecue would have got him
That would have
got him 3 years.
That would have got him.
But I think even the NCAA basketball, the tournament, the March Madness, I think you could still have a May Madness.
Yeah.
We don't, from a month from now, we don't know. This virus will die down, hopefully, or they could play ball. But they have the athletes. You got to have safety. You got to have precautions, and health comes first. But I think they could have left that
with that window open.
door cracked just like TSSAA did.
Speaking of a league that hasn't impacted yet, but could very well, the NFL trying to figure out whether or not to have their draft. You have all those people there, you're bringing them into a closed quarters, and, how do they handle that? Do they have the draft on TV? Do they let, set cameras up at the top 20s picks homes? Or how do they adjust that schedule? Free agency's been impacted by it. A lot of people are waiting on, there's rumors that the Titans are going to sign Jadeveon Clowney. They're waiting on a physical, but you can't take the physical because you can't get on the airplane because of this virus. So I think it's impacting it in that way of free agency and the draft, and they're even starting to talk about maybe how this can affect college football because they've already they canceled spring sports, and included in that was spring practice.
Right, and the draft is in limbo right now, right? Mm-hmm. NFL draft. I know they've moved it from Las Vegas. I don't think they're going to host it there. I don't know where they're going to get together and have it, but right now I think they're all systems go on having the draft. But all the pro days and all that, teams ain't going to get to see those guys and pretty much go in blind on a lot of things. But
yeah, I think there were some former Vols coming back to Knoxville for their pro day, and that's squashed now. They're not going to have it. So
what about Tom Brady signing with Tampa Bay?
I never would have thought he would have went to Tampa Bay, but that's
right
where he is. I was hoping that my Titans were going to pull through and sign him with a 2-year deal, but they're full-blown Tannehill.
Right. I think Brady, that's a good situation for him there in Tampa. Bruce Arians, he likes to throw the ball, and Brady will have a lot of weapons there in Tampa Bay, and I think Brady's hungry still. When I first heard about it, I was thinking he might need to just retire.
Yeah.
Maybe you see a lot of quarterbacks that leave their longtime teams and don't have success. Like Joe Namath, Johnny Unitas, Peyton Manning. He had success when he left Indianapolis, won a Super Bowl at Denver. Joe Montana, he got to the playoffs with Kansas City. I think Brady, stepping back and looking at it, he's got a chance. I think he wants to prove maybe
he can make some noise without Belichick.
Right, prove himself.
What a jerk.
A little bit more. I mean, if you can prove it, he got 6 rings already. I don't know if prove much more than that, but
I don't either.
He's still wanting to play, and he's in good shape.
Speaking of our Tennessee Titans, they didn't land Brady, but they did release some players. Let's pull that up. The Tennessee Titans released veteran tight end Delaney Walker and the 11-year veteran kicker Ryan Suckup on Friday. The moves come after the team parted ways with veteran outside linebacker Cameron Wake and running back Dion Lewis. Another former quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, a great guy, Marcus Mariota, signs a 2-year deal worth $17.6 million. Too bad he couldn't get more money. I don't know if he can make it on that, Sleepy. But he's going to be a Las Vegas Raider with John Gruden.
You think he can beat out Derek Carr?
No.
Don't think so.
I don't know. I don't think so. What do you think?
It's a possibility. Don't know with Gruden, but we'll see. My Vikings, they took a big hit on their defense. They've lost several players they released or free agency.
They still got Harrison Smith, though.
Still got Harrison Smith, and
one of the best safeties in the league.
Right, they got him. So Kyle Rudolph, another tight end from Notre Dame. So.
That's a good deal. All right, well, let's take our first break of the night. Our phone lines are open. The number is 865-483-8112. Give us a call, and we will take it when we get right back.
At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews and Come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose the 2020 Outback with financing as low as 0.9% at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
I was out with some friends. Nothing crazy. I was just out for some dinner. The pain was excruciating. It was like someone poured liquid hot magma into my mouth. That pizza was way too hot. I couldn't even enjoy my leftovers. Somebody's got to pay.
If you've been injured, call us and let us turn your wreck into a check.
Really? Again? Hey, if I had automotive style suspension like the new Simplicity, plus a free floating mower deck for the best cut, I'd be all that too.
Well,
And if I had the expertise and advice of his Simplicity dealer, maybe he'd look forward to hanging out with me.
you don't have a Simplicity dealership.
Good point. Huh.
Yeah.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is your gift destination. Shop the new plush selection for that special someone. We have Bath & Body Works popular fragrances and custom gift baskets too. Live and Let Live has a wide selection of gift and home decor for any occasion, from yard flags to selected jewelry plus much more. We have Big Orange giftware always available year-round. And don't forget to enjoy a soda fountain treat while you shop. Live and Let Live Drugstore, Gift Shop, and Soda Fountain in downtown Rockwood.
For 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods has been a leader in supplying the highest quality equipment and apparel for sports teams throughout East Tennessee. Athletes, fans, and coaches alike rely on the knowledge and experience that only Reno's can provide. For the best in team sports, shop Reno Sporting Goods.
Roan Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roan Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roan Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roan Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roan Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back, sports fans, to the Locker Room Chat. I'm Chase Clem with John Sleepy Williams. We got a very special guest for tonight, the new boys basketball coach at Midway High School, Mr. Denard Bertram. Denard, thanks for coming on tonight, and congratulations on your new job.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you for having me. Pretty excited about the opportunity that was given. When it was given, you just couldn't pass it by. It was a great opportunity for me. Midway is my home away from home. Of course, anybody knows me knows my daughter played there for 4 years, and so I got to know everyone there during that time of her growing up and playing in high school. And when they called, it took some prayer. It was a hard decision to make, but it was the right decision to make, and I'm happy to be there.
Now, Denard, this is your first head coaching position, but you've been coaching basketball for a very long time. What stops did you have that led to the head job at Midway?
Well, I've had 2 stints at Harriman. I had one 10-year stint, and then this one that I've been there with Coach Shannon since he's been there. And Oak Ridge with Coach Green, I was there, and he was a very integral part in teaching me how to run a program, from fundraising to building relationships in the community, those type things. He really helped me in our travel. The times we made the state tournament, just teaching me how to do those things. It wasn't so much the X's and O's. He had a lot of confidence in me in that area, but just teaching me how to run a program day to day. And so the 2 Harriman stints, we've been very successful. And every stop I've had, I've been blessed to be with good head coaches and be in 2 great communities, and looking forward to my 3rd community. But yeah, I'm very excited about the opportunity.
And Denard, we were talking off air, and Sleepy mentioned it. You've got to coach and be around some great ball players, both at Oak Ridge and at Harriman High School.
Yes. Of course, everyone knows T. Higgins. He'll make that walk to the NFL draft, and then here at Oak Ridge also Kevin Steen was drafted by the Boston Red Sox. Tajon Jones, who's now playing at UNC Asheville, E.J. Bush, who's at Carson Newman now, and then Shaquan Gibson, who went to Bryan, and then I had at Harriman, Isaiah McLean, Joe Pace, Hayden Bingham, John Johnson, Darius Gallahar, Demetri Inman, Shaquille Love, Xavier Howard. The list goes on. I've been blessed. I think a lot of times people give coaches a lot of credit, but when you have guys that can make plays, that helps you a whole lot.
And you were fortunate enough to win a state championship while you were at Harriman, correct?
Oh, yeah. 2017 state champion. 3 years before that, when I was here at Oak Ridge, we were runner-up and lost to Blackman and a guy by the name of Jawan Jennings. Some people may have heard of him before, but yeah.
He turned out okay, right?
He turned out
Pretty good. Yeah. Coach Bertram, where did you grow up at and play high school ball, and did you play any college basketball?
Harriman, and no, I didn't.
Harriman?
Yeah, but yes, Harriman. We was there during the great days. My freshman year, there was a guy by the name of Jermaine Copeland in that 1995 team who won the state championship. So, Harriman, born and bred, and never really planned on leaving there, but this opportunity was just an opportunity that was too good to pass up.
Now, Harriman has a great basketball tradition, as you mentioned. When you play there with Jermaine Copeland, y'all winning the state, and then winning in 2016?
17.
Or 17,
yeah.
And, this is a great opportunity at Midway. If you could just talk about maybe some of the history of Midway basketball. I know you mentioned your daughter played there, and just talk about Midway and some of their tradition over the years.
Midway had a strong tradition in women's basketball always, and that has continued. On the men's side, they were really good early in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, 90s. It was pretty good till about 95. After that, they've been up and down. A lot of talent has went through there. It's just been unfortunate to, the league that they were in. Before they were over there with Cosby, when Cosby were going to the state tournament and Final Fours every year. And then, then you move districts, and then you're with Harriman. Then when Wartburg had great teams and Rockwood had great teams during that time, it was just tough. And then Oakdale comes on the scene. So it's just been one thing or another. But the one thing we have to do is change the mindset and the culture of the way we play.
Sounds like a good opportunity for you to come in there and put the Midway Green Wave on the right track.
Yes, sir. And that's the goal, is to come in. And the first thing is you can't worry about wins and losses. You have to worry about competing every day, being the best you can be every single day. And if you're the best you can be every day, wins and losses will take care of itself. But we have to come in, we have to have a strong work ethic. And I believe with the strong work ethic and just building upon that success, I think it'll be something that the community there will be proud of.
No, go ahead, Sleepy, sorry.
I was going to say Midway, one of the smallest Class A schools in the state, correct?
Yes, it is. It is one of the smallest in the state, but I'm telling you, it's a great community, a whole lot of pride down there. They're going to show up. That's the one thing, they're going to show up. And I feel like a community like that shows up night in and night out, regardless of wins and losses, they deserve to have a good product put on the floor.
And that's one thing I was going to touch on, Denard, was the community and the schools down there, the sports down there, the citizens in that community. They show up on Friday nights. They show up at basketball games. They show up at softball games. They show up when their kids are playing, and to have that support's got to be encouraging.
It's very encouraging, and there's one thing today when I was down there at the school, people just driving by, blowing, congratulating me. Really excited. Yeah, phone it's died twice. So it's we're excited just to get started and get to work.
Now, Denard, we talked about your daughter playing at Midway. Sleepy doesn't know this, but she's an outstanding player at Lee University, and her season was also impacted by the coronavirus. Mm-hmm. How did that affect her? And I think she went out an All-American at Lee. Am I correct in saying that?
You are right.
So what's that been like, watching your daughter play and grow and be as successful as she's been?
It's very fulfilling. One thing that her mother we always instilled in her, if you work hard, you never know where you'll be. If you work hard, we feel like everything else will work out for you. And did I expect All-American status? No. But the one thing is her success is byproduct of her hard work. She's worked hard ever since she's picked it up. And so I always told her, I said, you know, if you put the time in, I said, time will do two things for you. It either promote you or it expose you. And it's promoted her, and it's taken her places that she never thought she could go. But, you know, it's a good thing to have a child to be able to do that and be in the spotlight. But it's the things that she does in that community down there in Cleveland that makes me proud when you show up at games and professors are coming up to you and telling you how much they love having her in class, how she's helped their grandchildren, or a youth pastor coming up saying that she came and talked to the youth group, or she's worked in the nursery. It's stuff like that that makes you even more proud of her athletic accomplishments, which comes as no surprise, but just the person that she's become and how she's represented Roane County well.
Sleeping?
I was going to mention about your daughter now. What grade is she in college?
She's a senior.
She's a senior.
Yeah,
Okay,
she's graduating.
So yeah, like Chase said, shutting it down cost her senior season a little bit at postseason.
And were they hosting?
They were hosting, and you know, it was heartbreaking to watch. The 4 years she was there, her first year they're an 8 seed, travel. Then her sophomore year, a 6 seed, travel. Last year, a 4 seed and travel, and then this year to be in the number 1 overall seed in the South region was going to host. It was something that not only that school was excited about, but the city was excited about, and for that just to be cut short, it was sad. But she's very resilient, and you know, she's looking forward to the next move in life.
Now we've talked about that next move. I think she's good enough to probably play overseas, but that might not be something that she's interested in doing, or maybe, or just up in the air right now.
At this time, she does not aspire to do that, but who knows? Who knows? You know, it may present itself to the point to where she'll give it a chance.
Coach Bertram, what's your opinion on them just canceling the basketball tournament? I know it's something that needed to happen, but do you think they maybe should have kept a window open? Maybe they could postpone it down the road, but a lot of ramifications with this virus.
Yeah, it is, and then when you step into the unknown, it is better to be, as they say, safe than sorry. But, you know,
right.
There was a lot of stories in this year's state tournament that I would have liked to seen unfold. You know, one of out of our district, the Oneida Indians, who, you know, they were always known traditionally to be really good, and then they kind of tanked, and Coach King has revitalized that program. I would have liked to see the storyline behind that. And again, as we were talking off air, the Oak Ridge team this year, not your typical Oak Ridge team, small outside, you know, a mill away, and I would have liked to seen how that fared. But one senior, a young team, which you expect to get back multiple years, and just shows the coaching job that Coach Green has done with those young men. But I would really like to see them compete there. You know, that's just two from around these parts.
Right. I'm hoping maybe they can get that completed in mid-May. That's what they're looking at right now.
Yes.
So
that's what we're hoping for.
That's what we're hoping.
Yes.
But Denard, we'll finish up back to the program. Well, you probably don't know when you can get started. When do you expect to meet the team? Planning out the summer. I know you've been the coach for like 5 minutes, now, but you've already started looking at that. And what are just some of the things that you want to bring to the program that you think maybe they can improve on, or that you just want to instill on day one?
Day one is, like I said, our work ethic, the way we play hard, a disciplined program, putting a solid product on the floor for the community and for the people to see, because I'm telling you this, the league that we play in is arguably one of the best. Some people may not look at it like that, but when you look throughout the league from top to bottom, just the guys that are on the sideline and what they do night in and night out. You've got to be ready for the unknown. I mean, you start at Rockwood with Coach K. How is he successful year in and year out? He takes his time in the film room. He knows you better than you know you. And his kids portray that. Even when you don't think that they can be really successful, they're always in the thick of things. And Coach Lane, what he's done there at Wartburg, made several sub-state appearances, a couple state tournament appearances, and man, Coach Jones at Sunbright, that new hire, he was a big addition to the district there.
Yeah, I was going to mention him. I know Coach Jones, and he's done a really good job there at Sunbright this year of making the region and almost winning that first round game.
He's done a fine job there, and you can go to Harriman, what Coach Shannon has done there. Never finished below third since he's been there. Sub-state appearances, a state championship, that speaks for itself. Oakdale, the run they had, and Coach Nelson. So, these guys, I mean, you don't have time to sit there and say, well, maybe next year or we'll get better. You have to be ready. You have to have the mentality of we have to get ready and be ready to go out and compete now. And the blessing almost that you have is that everybody looks at you as a doormat. And if you come out and compete and surprise some people, you can be in some games, and who knows what can happen from there. We're going to teach competition every single day. If you compete, hey, you've won half the battle.
All right, and that's Midway Green Wave head boys basketball coach Denard Bertram. We're going to take a quick break, or you want to take this phone call, Sleepy? You want to take a break or the phone call?
It might be Coach Stacy.
Is that Coach Stacy? Let's take a quick break in case it is. Our lines are open, 4838112. Again, Coach Bertram, thanks for joining us tonight. Best of luck at Midway, and we know you're going to do a great job.
Thank you for having me.
This is Locker Room Chat. We'll return after these brief messages.
Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood is the premier pharmacy service location. Let our professional staff help with all your pharmacy needs, answer your questions, or help with your medication management with our Medicine on Time packaging system. We also offer medication therapy management to ensure you're receiving maximum benefits from your medication. Diabetes care is available with one-on-one consultations, or you can attend one of our monthly diabetes information classes. Live and Let Live Drugstore in downtown Rockwood.
We treat you like family at RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. We treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
I am a Simplicity dealer. This business is my life, my career. If you need a new mower, I'll help you choose the model that will make your property look its very best, and even let you take a test drive. When it does need service, you can rely on my factory service training and genuine parts. Because I don't just sell products, I build relationships. I am a Simplicity dealer.
SL Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
All I could think about was the pain. I thought I was dying. One minute, I'm eating a delicious ice cream sundae. Next minute, my brain starts exploding. Couldn't even finish my ice cream. They shouldn't be allowed to make ice cream that cold. Someone has to pay.
If you've been injured, call us and let us turn your wreck into a check.
Reno Sporting Goods, your first choice for sports equipment. On the court, on the field, or in the stands, Reno's has the brand names you want. All the latest from Adidas, Under Armour, and more. From custom embroidery to screen printing, it's all about the game. For over 30 years, Reno Sporting Goods.
At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews, then come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose the 2020 Outback with financing as low as 0.9% at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Locker Room Chat. I'm John Williams, joined by my co-host on the end, Chase Clem, and here in the middle, new Midway boys basketball coach, Denard Bertram. We've got a call, so we're going to take this phone call. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, Clevie, Rob Stacy, how are you?
Hey, Coach Stacy. We're joined right now by Clinton Dragon head baseball coach Rob Stacy. Thanks for calling in, Coach Stacy. And what have you been doing here during this downtime?
I mean, not a whole lot. Sitting there, just missing my guys, missing the staff, missing everybody that's at high school and administration and everything, missing the other coaches. But on the flip note of that, getting to talk to a lot more of the area high school coaches, and just kind of, when you ain't got nothing to do, you're going to call your friend or your closest rival and just see how they're doing as well. So it gave us time to slow down a little bit in life.
Okay, what's your opinion on this coronavirus, this COVID-19, what it's done to the sports scene here in East Tennessee, and not just in East Tennessee, but all across the country? You would just talk about that, maybe talk about the TSSAA. I know, they're not giving up. You guys might get to play yet.
Well, it's definitely made you have to sit down and look at things from a different perspective and realize, that's what I kind of told our guys, is when stuff like this happens, I went through 9/11, so I know how that changed just our country. This is a world event, but I know how 9/11 impacted me as a young high school athlete. And I told our guys, it makes you realize that there's a lot more important things in life than just sports. Your family, those around you, just hoping the best for them, and kind of give them a little pep talk about, if you need someone to talk to, I'm there. There's also the man upstairs. It makes you really, really realize what's important in life. It's crazy. I don't think it's something that, hopefully it's never duplicated in our lifetime. That being said, though, it makes you really reevaluate how we go about our daily lives.
Right. I'm fairly close to the Dragon baseball program, and this is your first year coaching, and what have you been having your players do to stay in shape? Just some things they can work on. Just it's really crazy. The training and just everything that goes in. You played about a week of your schedule, and it gets shut down. You're not allowed to go to the facilities and work out or anything. It's just, it's really hard, I know, on you and your players, but what are some things that your players have been doing?
Well, it's, the one good positive out of this is the years that I had background in strength and conditioning are kind of coming around and paying off, because I was able to build a workout plan. It was 4 to 6 weeks that I've been sending them to. We have a group message that we keep up with each other with everybody on the team. So from freshmen to seniors, everybody's involved in that group message, and then we have another one that's separate for our boosters club and our family members and parents. But I've been sending them workouts that they can use with little weights and no weights, body weight exercises. We went even so far that we can create an exercise by loading up your backpack and doing lifts that way. And that way you're using some odd objects. And also sending them throwing programs. I know that they're supposed to be doing social distancing right now, but I know that some of them are probably hanging out with each other and would like to just go throw with each other. So hopefully they're doing that there at their house and, not going anywhere that's going to get them in trouble or, get them into a position where they're going to have to fight this virus.
Coach, lawn tossing is a great example of social distancing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I saw that the other day on Twitter. I chuckled. Somebody posted, long toss is a great way to social distance. So that's 100% true. As long as they get out there and they're doing something. I know today I had to do some yard work, so I push mowed my lawn. So, I mean, if they're able to do that, they're at least moving and getting their bodies in some kind of shape.
That's true. Hey, Coach, how many seniors do you have? And the ones that you do have, how have you kind of been able to deal with them through this? Is there, you work so hard to get to that senior year, and now it's up in the air as to whether or not you'll even get to finish it. How have you encouraged those guys to just kind of stay the course, keep your head down, and, just basically just have to wait and see? But how do you keep them hopeful?
Well, I told them the story kind of about my life and my history of my coaching and my playing career. And it's nothing comparable to what they're going through right now, but it kind of gave them some a glimmer of hope. And I told them anytime that I talk to somebody, I know I sometimes tell them a little bit of the story that my belief is when God puts stuff in front of you, He challenges you for a reason because He believes in you. And if He believes in you, He's going to put you to the toughest test imaginable because He knows that you can get through it and know it's going to make you a stronger person. So I kind of left them with that. On that note, we've got 10 seniors. Out of those 10, we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've had 5 guys that had college interest. One, Adam Sharp, he's got interest. He had an offer from Bluefield College. Austin Pemberton, he had an offer from Bluefield. Right now he's working through. We're trying to get him another route, maybe junior college route. Nick Graham had an offer from Bluefield and also had an offer from Bryan. Colby Moody has had interest on the mound. He had a really good outing in one of our scrimmages, and I had a couple of the area college coaches call me after that and say, "Who is this guy? We heard we got a diamond in the rough." Unfortunately, his next outing wasn't that great, so we were really looking forward to his next outing after that because we knew that he could rebound and show his true talent. And then, of course, Chase Lockard, kind of not upsetting, but just how God works. We'd scheduled a game against Science Hill when all this was going down, and I called him, and we were going to head up there to go play him. And due to unfortunate events, we weren't able to go, and I'd actually worked it out for Chase that night to pitch against Science Hill, and basically was going to have Milligan's coach come and check him out. I'm really good friends with him, Coach Barnett, up there. It's his first year as well. Didn't get it worked out, but good thing about that was I got Chase in contact with Coach Barnett, and he has currently got an offer as far as that goes. Still trying to get our guys in the best position for in college as far as financially, and also try to get their ACT scores up. So right now, I'm just hammering them every day about their grades. I'm like, there's no reason for you to have bad grades now. You can't miss class. I mean, class is right in front of you on a computer. So, I mean, and I know you probably got the hardest teachers in the planet with your parents, so there's no way that you can have bad grades now. So we've got to get those GPAs up and those ACTs. And that's just for the guys that have interest in playing college baseball. We've got a couple other seniors that came on this year that several of them, this is their first year coming back to baseball. And that's just a testament of the senior class that we had and the type of recruiting that they were doing within our own school to get these athletes out there. And, again, same message as those guys, whether it's technical school or, college, we're trying to get these guys somewhere. We're trying to get them somewhere successful. I left one off there now. I thought this Nathan Lee also, he's been talking to Campbellsville a little bit. We're trying to decide his route right now if it's going to be college baseball or trade school because he was accepted into a trade school here in locally, which is like he was one of 30 guys picked. So I was really pumped for him about that.
Trade school pays a lot more than 4 years at a private baseball school.
100%. So I'm trying to get these guys to realize on some of these ACT scores and some of these grades, like if you really want to do this, pursue this in college, like you're going to have to help yourself out from 10 years from now. It's just coming from somebody that didn't have anybody tell them anything about going to play college baseball. And just kind of limit it with my mom and my dad, and you turn around and say, I wish someone would have told me that. So trying to prepare them for that and prepare them for life. This event, I told them, I said, you can get upset about it, you can get mad about it, you can cuss and fuss about it, but one thing's for sure is you got to deal with it. And how you deal with it will be a testament to who you are in about 10 years. You'll look back on this event and be like, I'm not super glad that might have happened, but I'm glad it changed me for the better.
Yes, we're on with Clinton Dragon head baseball coach Rob Stacy. Coach Stacy, I guess the hardest thing with those boys, it's a great group of kids right there, but hardest thing for them is probably getting up out of bed, right?
Yeah, pretty much. They get up before the sun rises, they're doing something. That's what I tell them. I said, if you guys are seeing the sunrise, you're actually doing something for today. But Lord love them. I know my guys, they're probably seeing the sun come up. So.
Right, that's a great group of student athletes, seniors you got there, just first class the whole way. And
we've got some backup plans. I've been talking to some area coaches. If this high school season doesn't get done, I hope that anybody's listening that might have a senior that's not with us or at another high school. I mean, this is not a ploy to recruit. This is literally from the bottom of our heart. I've talked to other coaches about this. If we're not able to get this senior season in, we've been looking at several different 18U tournaments to try to get these guys some type of season of baseball where they can actually end their careers on a high note. And if we can get that worked out with the seniors we got, and anybody wants to come along with us on that trip,
awesome.
That means coaching as well. We'd love to have you aboard. And that's the number one thing when our game with Side Hill kind of got nixed. We'd actually worked out a thing with Josh Orrick. He's a local referee, and he coaches Union County. A good friend of mine up in Mayersville. He's doing a heck of a job, too. Really, really speak highly of him. His players love him. We were trying to go play them. Then they pulled the plug on us playing them from their side, from their county. And then got it worked out. Casey Taylor at the beer bowl about 11 o'clock. I told him, I said, we're getting this deal done at midnight. We were supposed to play that Sunday. I got there about 6 a.m. Getting the water off the field and hand raking it myself. About 9 a.m. Anderson County announced, no school, no activities. Not fully supporting their decision after how things have gone. Now I fully support that. I think it's the best decision they could have made. But I kept telling my guys and my parents over and over again. I said, this isn't about getting my pitching set up to get a win. This isn't about. This is literally to get you a game because it might be your last game. So we did everything in our power to do that. And hopefully this summer, if it works out, if we don't get this high school season, we can do the same.
Right, and Coach Stacy, you mentioned Coach Josh Orrick at Union County.
Yes, sir.
He's a really good basketball official, too. Here with Coach Denard Bertram here, the new Midway coach. You probably know Mr. Orrick, who does some officiating.
I do.
Uh-huh.
Good ref, yeah.
Good ref. It's hard to say good ref or good umpire sometimes, but he's one of the good guys. Him and JB. He works for us down on the field, and he takes care of our field. So we got some friends on the basketball side.
Right. All right, Coach Stacy. Well, just want to tell you you're doing a really good job coming onto the scene there at Clinton this year. You got a lot of kids out, and you're doing a great job in the community with the young men, and you're making them leaders. I know you're really working them hard since you took the head coaching job back last summer, and you're really doing a lot of good things with those young men, and just wish you the best of luck this season, that those kids can play ball, and everybody here is wanting to get sports started back. So
yes, that basketball tournament too. I mean, that's another note on that. It's not just baseball. You've got basketball teams right now. Oak Ridge, who's in our district. You never hear that maybe coming from their rivals at Clinton, but I was looking forward to seeing how they did in the basketball tournament. I was looking forward to seeing how Maryville did on the men's side. I just hate it because to see those kids compete against our kids, I know how much that opportunity in just the state tournament meant to them, and hopefully if they at least get that in. I think that needs to be done.
Right, and I like the TSSAA's giving every opportunity to make that happen.
They have. I've emailed Mr. Bernard a couple times and just told him how good of a job I thought he was doing. Because after listening to their conference, while listening to it live, it really makes you realize, sometimes you get mad at the officials or sometimes you get mad at the people in charge, but when you sit there and hear them talk about kids, it makes you realize who they're really in for.
You're exactly right.
All right, Coach Stacy. Well, hey, thanks for calling in tonight. We always enjoy when you call, and good luck for whatever remains of the season, and we just wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Well, we got a few minutes left. Denard, appreciate you coming on the show tonight. Sleepy, did you see the automated NASCAR race?
I did not.
That they did. I think they gave every driver an Xbox controller or something, and they broadcasted the race just like it was a race, but, Danny Hamlin was driving Danny Hamlin, and they had announcers and everything, and it had great ratings.
I haven't saw that, but I'd like to have seen that.
Hey, who knows? Tennessee had a person transfer out, get into the portal. Jalen Johnson?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson.
He goes, not Triple J.
Basketball,
yeah. We got another caller. Tell you, they're ringing off the hook. It's a record night. Go ahead, caller. You're on the air.
Yeah, man. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. Is this Mean Joe?
Yes, it is. I'm so glad to see Brother Denard get that coaching job over there at Midway. We're looking forward to some competition from the Green Wave over there at Midway, and we're so excited about this thing. So we're really looking for some good things from it.
Hey, Big Denard said you can ride the wave, you can get swarmed.
Yeah, I might try to get mid-job over there. I know all them boys over there, so I might try to squeeze in over there. So I'm doing something myself.
Yeah, Joe's worth 10 points if he's cheering on your side, so we'll need him there all the time. And Joe's one of my biggest supporters. That's my brother-in-law, and great guy. He's always supporting me, and I'm glad to have him with us.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad you got this opportunity, and I guarantee you, Midway, you are going to be well blessed because you're not going to have no more dedicated a coach, a leader, and a man that's going to put that program on the map. Congratulations to you again, Denard, and I'll be checking out.
Thank you, Joe. That was Big Joe Eskridge, the president. Is he still the president of the NAACP in Rome County?
Yes, sir.
Good community man, great guy. But anyway, what else you got, Sleepy, tonight?
Well, I'd just like to mention some of the teams that's currently still alive in the girls and the boys.
Who's left in? Let's start with the girls. Who's left in the girls?
Well, I think the Stone Memorial is really pretty much the only local team, fairly local team that's left. Unfortunately, most the teams lost. I know Oneida, Lady Indians lost. You also had Maryville, Gatlinburg, Pittman, Granger.
Denard, any of those teams that made some noise and got to the finals that you know of? Any of those women's teams?
Oh yeah. They could have. You got to win that first one, and that's the toughest one. After that, it's a crapshoot. You never know. And I thought Oneida girls had the talent too, but then you run into a team in Loretto who has a Miss Basketball finalist, and I don't know if she, Miss Carly Weathers, I don't know if she won it or not. Her father played Major League Baseball. Her brother was the number 3 pick 2 years ago in the draft. They're just a talented family. And then Greenfield down there in Single A with 3 Division I players. SEC Division I players.
I think one's coming to Tennessee, right?
That is right. And so it's tough. But Maryville, really good team, lost by 3 down there. But Stone, I wish them all the best. Coach Buck, he's a great guy, great coach, great guy. And so I wish them the best of luck. I'm pulling for them all the way.
I'd also like to mention the Wartburg girls. They got to the sub-state. Congratulations to them on
it's a great season.
Really good season as well. And then on the boys' side, you got the Harriman Blue Devils. Did you go up to North Green for that?
Yeah.
Cover that?
Yeah, we covered it.
Uh-huh.
We covered it. And that place was rocking.
I bet. And
wasn't it, Denard? I bet it was 80-20 Hampton to Harriman.
Easy. Yeah. And
was it a Hampton?
It was a Hampton. It was
a whiteout, and they came out and they supported in that place. It was an environment like none other. Which is a good environment. It's an environment that you should have if you're playing for an opportunity to go to the state tournament.
It was a smaller court, it seemed like, maybe, or maybe that was just because the stands were right. There was no room out of bounds. There was no. If you went out of bounds, you were in the student section.
Where'd you call the game at?
We called it from behind one of the goals. So it was set up like a. It was like set up like an auditorium, and there was the stage. That's where they had all the media at. So it was a different viewpoint from the game, but it was still a good season for the Blue Devils. That last game didn't end the way we wanted it to, but.
It's all a really good comeback of the Harriman and Oneida game.
Oh yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
You called that game, right, Harriman?
Yeah, we got to do Harriman Oneida.
About come back and won that game after I had 5 points in the first half. Harriman.
Yes. Yes. It was our worst offensive performance to date, and then just went in and just let them know, hey, you either compete or you're about to get embarrassed. And they came out and fought, and we had an opportunity to win it there at the buzzer. Just rimmed out. Freshman took the shot. He's got a really bright future. Nick Pelfer's going to be a great player at Harriman. Looking forward to see what happens with him.
I was listening to Chase on the call that night in the first half, and I didn't listen to the second half. I meant to, but I didn't. And then Chase texted me the score, and I was like, wow. I came back and won, so I was disappointed I missed hearing that. But also some other teams locally and the boys in the state. You have Cleveland, they've been number one about all year. Oak Ridge right here, going to the state. Sullivan South.
The Oneida boys.
Upper East Tennessee, Oneida. And you got Greenville. Greenville up the road. They're there, so. They had a big win over Fulton. So hopefully those teams will get to compete.
Hopefully they can find a way to play it, whether that be without fans or without, just the 10-team roster there or whatever they make it, and hopefully they can get that game in. So, well, that'll do it for another edition of the Locker Room Chat. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We hope everybody stays inside, stay away from people, wash your hands. Anything else? Any other words of advice, Sleepy?
Just don't buy all the toilet paper.
Don't be greedy with the toilet paper because some people need it. This has been the Locker Room Chat. I'm Chase Clem. He's John Williams. Special thanks to Denard Bertram for coming on tonight, and we'll see you next week.
At Earl Duff Subaru, our reputation has been built on taking care of customers. We're Tennessee's only 9-time winner of the Subaru Love Promise Customer Commitment Award. This year, we also earned the Love Promise Community Commitment Award given for enhancing the areas we serve. This means you can be sure you'll have an excellent experience when you visit our store and be proud you're dealing with a company that gives back to local causes. Read our online reviews and come to Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.
During the Subaru A Lot to Love event, choose the 2020 Outback with financing as low as 0.9% at Earl Duff Subaru in Harriman.